In this video, we're going to be solving word problems using direct, inverse, and joint variation. This problem says, one day Emily's drive to work takes 20 minutes and she averages 30 miles per hour. The next day, her drive only takes 15 minutes. What is her average speed that day? Alright, so what we're going to do for this problem is use the information we got from the first day to figure out what her average speed was the second day. So we know from the first day that it took her 20 minutes. So t, which is time, we'll say is 20 minutes. And her rate is 30 miles per hour. Alright, so we know that distance equals rate times time. And that's our variation equation. So that can be abbreviated as D equals R times T. So we know R and T for her first day. So we just need to figure out the distance. And then with that distance, we'll know she drives the same distance the second day, and we should be able to use that to figure out the average speed. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. So we've got distance is equal to 30 miles per hour times 20 minutes. Alright, so we see we have a problem here, and the problem is that our units don't match. So if we were going to do this problem, our final units would end up being miles times minutes per hour, which is not good. What we want is just miles. So we need to get rid of the minutes and the hours. So to do that, what we use is dimensional analysis. We use a proportion. So we know that in 1 hour there are 60 minutes. Alright, so now we can see that hours cancel out here and minutes cancel out here, and we're left with just miles. So if we do that math, we get that the distance is equal to 600 miles over 60, or 10 miles. Okay, so now, since we have that distance, we should be able to deal with the second day. Alright, so this time we know that her drive takes her 15 minutes. So t is equal to 15 minutes. Alright, the rate is what we're looking for, since it asks us what her average speed was that day. But now we also know the distance. We know the distance is 10 miles, because if she drives the same route to work, her distance is going to be the same. So now our equation, distance equals rate times time, what we want to do is solve this equation for rate now. So to solve this equation for rate, we'll multiply both sides by 1 over time. So, and now cancel out time, so we'll get distance over time is equal to rate. Alright, so now we should be able to plug in our numbers and go ahead and figure this out. So, distance is 10 miles over time, which is 15 minutes. So since it's a fraction, basically I can just put 1 over 15 minutes. Okay? So now what we have here is the rate. But we can see here that our units are going to come up with miles per minute, right? And those aren't really very helpful units for speed. So we want our speed to be in miles per hour. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have 10 miles over 1 times 1 over 15 minutes. So if we want to get rid of the minutes and have hours, we need to use a proportion again. So we know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So that will make minutes cancel, and our units will be miles per hour. So if we work that out, we end up getting 600 miles over 15 hours, which is equal to 40 miles per hour. So we know that her average speed on the second day is 40 miles per hour.